but when are we gonna go, like, watch the fires?
I'm sorry, the fire, sir?
Like, fire watching.
Oh, sir, fire season was 2 months ago.
Really?
Yeah. You ready to go?
I guess.
Hello everyone and welcome back to your favorite show for all things gaming and rarely tech related, Gentoo. I'm Jonas Pilot.
And I'm Gabe Chadwick. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Gentoo. Let's get right into this week's gaming releases. A vast world awaits in an all-new dark fantasy action RPG Lords of the Fallen. Journey across two expansive parallel worlds in your epic quest to overthrow Audra. While the living realm presents its own brutal challenges, untold terrors lurk in the nightmarish realm of the dead. Lords of the Fallen releases on October 13th on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Adventure through the mystical North Star Islands in this all-new take on classic 2D Sonic high-speed action platforming. Play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy Rose and harness all-new Emerald powers to move and attack in dynamic new ways. Navigate gorgeous, never-before-seen environments, solo or up to with 3 other players, and stop Dr. Eggman, Fang, and a mysterious new adversary from converting the island's giant animals into badniks before it's too late. Sonic Superstars releases October 17th for all major platforms. Those are the games coming out this week. Make sure to check those out and like, comment, and subscribe.
Now let's check out this week's packs.
With a Warden breakthrough in the Great Northern Offensive, Warden High Command was looking for a breakthrough in the center in a region known as the Deadlands to capture the key city of Faramore.
The Deadlands. Now, I'd just come from the Great Northern Offensive, so I'd seen combat, but I never could have expected what I was gonna see here. Shell holes everywhere. It was destruction like I'd never seen before. But a soldier does what a soldier needs to do, and that is his duty. So, I grabbed my rifle, and I went where I needed to go. First, I was sent to a small bridge conflict, south of Faramore. Here, it was my squad's duty to hold the collie advance across the broken bridge. Warden engineers had blown the bridge about a week ago to halt the collie advance, and it was doing its job, but they were still trying to cross, so it was our job to stop anyone from doing that. So, we sat on the far side of the bridge and picked off anyone who came close. The collies would bring up tanks and heavy field guns to try and push us back across the bridge, but we held our ground firm and solid, as it was our duty to do so. The position at the bridge was just a preliminary position. Quickly, I was scrambled to take over the gunner position of a Devitt-class light tank that was going to be pushing towards the east. Our job in the tank was to provide infantry support and cover for them pushing up. Along with an anti-tank half-track, we were also designated with taking out any collie armor in the area.
Yeah, you have to tank it.
The area was heavily mined. I was never formally trained as a tank crew, so quickly the tank was recalled and recrewed with an official tank crew, relieving me of my position, and I could never be more thankful in my life.
Stop!
I went back to doing what I knew best, and that was footwork. So, I grabbed an anti-tank rifle, and I held my position in a trench to the east, where the Devitt and the anti-tank half-track would be coming back to provide us support again. Light collie armor had been pushing us in the area, and it was our job to try and take it out, but it was well guarded with collie infantry and a bunker base behind it to retreat behind. Collie tank crews, I gotta give them credit. They were good at their jobs. They'd come in, hit a couple infantry, and zip back out before the half-track and the Devitt could respond. Us infantry did our best. We'd take a couple pot shots at it and get a good couple hits, but it was never enough to decrew the tank or take it out completely. And they'd always be able to drive off and repair, come back and hit a couple more of our boys before we could do anything about it. Our squad had received commendations during the Great Northern Offensive, so we were becoming well known as a squad that could get the job done. There was an offensive going on further to the east, a push towards the city of Faramore. The city of Faramore had been in collie hands since the start of the war, and if we could break through and take the city, it'd be a huge blow to collie morale, and and I was going to be at the tip of the spear. Make sure to tune in next week and catch the next story from the Foxhole.
Hi guys, welcome to Corby's Content Corner. Yes, we have a name now, not important. Anyways, what's the scariest game ever made? Oh, you want me to tell you? Okay, fine, I guess I can do that. Now, the world of horror games is pretty big. I have played a handful of them in my day, and I will tell you, they can get pretty intense. But personally, before we start, I'm just gonna say, if you're still getting scared by FNAF at Fredbear and his friends here, then just get out. Those games aren't even scary to me anymore. Unless we're talking about FNAF 4. Then it is really scary. It scares me so much I can't even finish it. But that's not important. Let's move on now. Look, if you guys want the truth, and I'm saying this with full seriousness, for real, full stop, on God, no cap, Resident Evil 7. And it's not even close. Let me explain. Not only does this game put you in the role of Ethan Winters, a man who has way too much courage to march his way into this house and shoot a bunch of monsters just to save his girlfriend, but who also might just be immortal. That makes more sense once you've seen what he's gone through. Look, this game is absolutely brutal. I mean, your hand gets chainsawed off by your possessed girlfriend in the first 5 minutes, for crying out loud. What? This game was so spooky that Capcom decided to ease up on the horror with Resident Evil 8 and make it more of an adventure game with horror aspects, because they said, and I quote, "It's always our goal to create something that anybody can feel comfortable jumping in and playing." So we eased up on the tension curve relative to Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, so that players aren't in constant fear. Yep, that's a real quote. And to be honest with you, I get it. You have to trek through this haunted house of monsters and fight a crazy family every step of the way to get out. And these guys suck. You got a creepy bug mother who definitely can't cook. You got this weird little freak of a son who just wants to torture you and stuff. And last you have the father. This guy might single-handedly be the reason I think this game is so scary. Like, you might be alone for a while and think, oh boy, how fun, I get to just solve puzzles in peace. And then he just pops through the door with his big axe in hand and oh my gosh, it's time to run. This guy is terrifying. And even worse, he's faster than you. The only way to slow him down is to shoot him in the face. And in case you didn't know, he moves his head when he is coming at you. Not to mention the fact that you try to kill this guy like 7 times, and just like Springtrap, he always comes back. There, I made a FNAF reference. Har, 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 har. Get off my back now. Yes, I'm gonna watch the movie. Can we get back to what I was saying? Guys, trust me, this game isn't just scary, it's too scary. Want more proof? I quit playing this game because I was too scared to finish it. Well, I guess that doesn't prove that it's a scary game, but it definitely proves that I'm not a truthful game reviewer, so, I guess that's all?
Unlike other organizations on and around campus, here, the students do it all.
KNWT is a student-run and student-produced television station.
To support this content, you can go to our YouTube channel at KNWT Channel 8.
And watch the latest shows or even enjoy blasts from the past.
Hey, nice job on the analysis of the game last week.
Oh, thanks.
Come on, Jason, you're not a football player.
Tosses it toward the end zone, pass cut, touchdown for Northwest Missouri State. It's Alexander coming up with a catch.
Now that's a football player. Make sure you check out Bearcat Update every Monday at 6 on KNWT TV on YouTube. We got sports news, scores, behind the scenes, and anything to do with Northwest Missouri State University here in Titletown. Check us out.
My name is Gabriel Lozano, and welcome to Audio Odyssey, a show where we dive into some of the best video game soundtracks and what makes them so great. This week, we're going to take a look at the Minecraft soundtrack. Minecraft is one of the most popular games of all time. It's no question that almost everybody knows what Minecraft is. Minecraft will always be one of the greatest video games, and I personally believe it has some of the best music in gaming. Minecraft was released on November 18th, 2011. And right after launch, the game immediately blew up. I'm sure everyone remembers how popular Minecraft was when it first came out. So popular that millions of people still play the game, and the game is even updated every so often. With the release of the game came Minecraft's first album. The first album of Minecraft is known as Volume Alpha, written by no other than Daniel Rosenfeld, or also known as C418. Volume Alpha contains some of the most iconic songs in the game and can be easily recognizable if you've played any bit of Minecraft. Some of these songs in the albums include Mice on Venus, Wet Hands, and my personal favorite, Sweden. After Minecraft was released, 2 years later, Rosenfeld released Minecraft's second album, Volume Beta. Volume Beta is more of an ambient album and has an overall darker tone than the original. But it's no question Volume Beta added to the game and still was a major success. The album also contains 9 out of 16 of the in-game discs that can be acquired as you play the game. Rosenfeld made a final contribution to the game in 2018, releasing 3 singles for Minecraft's Aquatic update. Today, Minecraft's music is written by Lena Chappell, or also known as Lena Raine. Raine is best known for writing the soundtracks of Guild Wars 2 and Celeste. She's been working with Minecraft since April 2020 and releasing albums for the Nether update, Caves and Cliffs update, the Wild update, and the most recent Tales and Trails update. Even though some of Raine's music has a completely different vibe than Rosenfeld's original Minecraft music, it's no question that Raine was a great fit for Minecraft's music. Minecraft simply wouldn't be the same without either one of these composers. I think Minecraft's music is one of the reasons the game is so enjoyable and the reason it's so nostalgic. Every time I hear Minecraft's music, it makes me think back to 2011 when everyone was picking up their copies of Minecraft, YouTube was littered with Minecraft videos, and I couldn't wait to get back home from school to play Minecraft with my friends. So next time you're building your very own house or getting attacked by a group of mobs, think about Minecraft's music and how important it is, because without it, Minecraft simply wouldn't be Minecraft. And that was the 4th episode of Audio Odyssey. I hope everyone enjoyed, and I hope to see everybody here next week.
Content warning and disclaimer. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mental State, the show where we dive into the psychological side of classic video game characters. This week, we will be taking a look at Firewatch, a game that deals with grief and the great outdoors. Without further ado, let us dive in. We begin this game through moments of dialogue between our main character Hank and his wife Julia. We watch their relationship flourish through ups and downs, and get a peek into their personalities. Things change, however, when Julia is diagnosed with dementia at 41. In an effort to get away and get his thoughts in order, Hank takes a remote job as a firewatch at a national park. It is here that we meet our second character, Delilah. Her personality shows almost immediately through her first lines, highlighting her sarcastic outlook on life.
Do I write him a ticket?
Easy there, Dirty Harry. Thanks, Hank.
It's Henry.
What, you don't like Hank?
As these two interact, we see Hank open up more about his reasons for coming, as well as the doubt in his decision. His grief about this decision is seen throughout the game, from a night scene where he hears Julia over the radio, to responses to Delilah's questions hitting on his contempt with his choice. Delilah throughout the game thus far has been a comedic foil to Hank's sadness, giving light to scenarios and making Hank break his shell. This dynamic changes, however, with the introduction of our third character, Ned. His goal is to keep Hank and Delilah away from finding a secret he has kept hidden for the past few years, and goes to great lengths to accomplish this. He knocks Hank out, taps their radios, makes false logs of their conversations. The list goes on. This is all done, however, out of a place of grief. Grief is something that is almost universal. Almost everyone will experience it in their lifetime, whether it be from the death of a loved one to a choice not made. All 3 characters show a different side of grief in an interesting way. For Hank, we know that his grief stems from the slow decline in his wife's health. His efforts towards trying to process this fact left him doubting his choices and saddened. For Ned, his grief stems from the secret he was hiding. The secret being the death of his son. His efforts to keep Delilah and Hank away through the entire game stem from a sad reality that his son died in a climbing accident, and Ned couldn't handle the grief. His way of processing this was to live hidden in the park, keeping people away from the sight of his body. We see Delilah's grief upon hearing this information. Her dialogue shows that she is having a hard time handling the news, hinting at future problems later in her life. Where this game does a truly masterful job of comparing this grief is through Delilah. Her description of his scenario foils a situation that Hank finds himself in, having abandoned Julia for this job.
Henry, not knowing what to do isn't okay. When you're supposed to look after someone,
You figure it out.
Yes.
Thank you for coming into my office. I have once again been Dr. Snodderly. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next week for our 5th session.
Do you know the guys who were in here last wrote Gullible on the ceiling?
Oh, dude, not cool.
I can't believe you actually fell for that.
Dude, let's not even talk about it.
Gabe.
What?
Gabe, I need
What?
you to look out the back
Dude,
window.
I'm not gullible.
No. Yeah, well, I mean, you are, but like...
Dude, I'm not even
no,
looking.
I'm like-
Even if there, you know what? Even if there's a forest fire, I don't care.
Big one.
No,
There's a huge
I literally
one.
don't care.
There's like, okay, you know what?
It's not even that bad.
Yeah, no, the smoke. Right, that's from the forest fire.
Dude,
Gabe.
I'm not looking back.
I'm like, okay, I'm phoning this in, man.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dark and Dumber. I'm your host with the most, the man who goes in without a plan, Evan. Now, Dark and Darker has been having a rough time with balance issues and DDoS attacks for the past couple weeks, but that won't stop us from going into the dungeon. While there's been a lot of problems in and out of the game, Iron Mace has been working hard to fix these problems, releasing 2 hotfixes back to back, just a week apart from each other. Noted both these hotfixes drastically changed the meta and how the game is played, making Rogue and Bard nowhere near as powerful ambush characters, and Warlock went from having no spells and dealing little damage to being the most overpowered character in the game, being able to one-shot fighters and almost insta-kill barbarians, then being nerfed back down from his previous hotfix. Now that we're done talking about the terrifying state of this game, time to get some loot. Run 1 was short, but full of action, either being chased or chasing someone through the entire run. No time to rest when you got goods to acquire. Having to brawl in the boss room is no easy task, but we managed to chase out the other party long enough to kill the Skeleton King and claim the main loot. Going after the other party, we overextended and need the fallback. Go for a flank. Meeting back with the party, we keep running because messing with a Hydra is a death wish. Luckily, at the end of the hallway, we got portal out. Now I know I said we were going to High Roller, but with these recent hotfixes, they raised the level minimum to enter, and Peasant Me hasn't really reached those ranks yet. But lucky for you, I came up with an idea just as hard as High Roller, queuing with random people, and hoping they don't try to kill me. This run started off slow with just good old-fashioned mob killing, gotta get used to the new party. Then we run into a party of 3 and start a deadly slog, both parties throwing everything into the fight. It's a bloodbath. All that's left is me, and this glorious loot. If only I had bigger pockets. Now it's a dash against time. I gotta make it out of the swarm and find a portal. Making it out of the swarm, I trail behind another party. Another portal, we're making it out. Clearing mobs, we make our way to the Coliseum, the new location added to the undergrounds. While there is more loot here, it's also a PvP hotspot. Chasing off another party while fighting mobs, we make our way deeper, spotting a duo fighter and a bard. Like shooting fish in a barrel. Our Warlock got too close though, so he's down. Keeping distance, they are dangerous and we're able to finish them off. I revive our Warlock and started to look for a portal. Luckily there was one already open around the corner, and I made it out. Thank you for tuning in this week for Dark and Dumber. Hope to see all you adventurers return for more Crypt Tales. See you later.
KZLX LP Maryville. Your 24/7 top 40 radio. Live radio coverage of events, live concerts, and DJ service.
This week, we step into the ring with real recommendations, dive into the behind the scenes of Survivor, and stop by the stop motion masterpiece of Coraline. Check out this week's episode of Nerd Central, new episodes Wednesdays at 6 on KNWT TV.
Welcome back to Mustard's Madness, where we are nearing the halfway point of the season, which leads us to checking up on the All-Star voting. Our coaching staff believes in us and is going to let us help decide the rotation for our roster from here on out. We also get the chance to customize our own water bottle, and if you know me, I'm going with the yellow one. We have a highly anticipated matchup with the Lakers, led by none other than the King LeBron James. However, they are missing a key piece in Anthony Davis, which makes us the favorite in this matchup. I get us started early on the first play of the game, getting a steal on Austin Reeves and taking it all the way up the court and drawing the foul. I convert both free throws and put the first 2 points of the game on the board. The next time down the court, I use a pin down screen to get open at the top of the key for a wide open 3. Adding on to the early offense, I hit a cutting De'Aaron Fox for an easy dunk. After a failed play, I work down the right side and drive on Reeves. With an easy blow-by, I get the highlight of the season so far and throw it down over Austin Reeves and Mo Bamba. This earned us a sick replay, which was well-deserved. The last possession in the first quarter, I drove down the lane, challenging LeBron, who meets me at the rim, but he couldn't do that without fouling. I sneak the first free throw over the rim and then drain the second one. While trying to create space for Fox, I find myself open 2 steps behind the three-point line, but that's not going to stop me from pulling it. On the fast break, I find myself open again for back-to-back long threes. On the fast break, I notice a mismatch, and I have their center guarding me. I call for the ball and attack his closed-off hip, drawing another foul. I split those free throws, and then I get subbed out. Since we're up big, our team is trying some random plays that'll help later down the road, and Fox finds a weak spot in their defense, getting me another assist. Up 16, I find myself attacking Reeves again on the fast break. Down the left side of the lane, I put up a floater that drops in. I know my playing time is coming to an end in this game, so I try to cut back door and get a foul drawn, sending me to the line. I knock down both free throws, bringing my total to 20 on the night. We pick up the 77-63 win, and after the game, I run to my agent's office to grab some extra VC to upgrade my character. I am happy with how my player is performing from the perimeter, so today's upgrades are going to be focused on the inside scoring. This leads me to upgrading my driving dunk and close shots while putting whatever was left into the free throw section. This takes us to a 70 overall, finally breaking out of the bronze tier. I also have some badge points to spend, and with my upgraded attributes, this gives me access to some new ones. Highlighted by Fearless Finisher, Aerial Wizard, and Posterizer, these new badges should help our scoring around the basket. After downgrading a badge in shooting, I distribute those points into 2 key badges in Limitless Range and Green Machine, letting me hit perimeter shots easier. For defensive badges, I throw on the ankle braces and glove badges to help me stay with my assignment. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell as we near All-Star Weekend here on Mustard's Madness.
I'll keep it real with you guys. This DLC broke me, and I mean that in a really, really good way. This DLC is single-handedly the most soul-crushing thing I have ever played, ever watched, ever sat down and just enjoyed. It is incredible. This game, as much as I loved its base game story, did feel a little disjointed in the middle, like something was missing sometimes. This was it. This DLC is the perfect bow to wrap this game up on. So, let's get into why this campaign has convinced me to get a tattoo of the relic in V's head.
No, you're not joking.
Dead serious, yes.
Phantom Liberty kicks off about midway through the base game, when a netrunner working for the US government, Somi, aka Songbird, contacts V about the one thing you're looking for in the game. A cure.
I can cure you. Once and for all.
In return for the cure, V must save the US president from a crashed Air Force One in Night City's lawless war zone district, Dogtown. And after a somewhat chaotic extraction mission, Songbird goes missing. And it's up to V and FIA agent Solomon Reed to track down Songbird, get V that cure, and get President Myers out of there safely. But as you'll soon come to learn the more you play Cyberpunk, there's always a catch. Phantom Liberty is a spy thriller. There's doppelgangers, liars, and even a gorgeous party scene that feels like it's right out of a James Bond movie. Without giving too much away, Songbird's motives are soon come to light. Songbird's a liar. Well, kinda. It's complicated. She only tells V half the truth. Songbird's unique ability to tap into the relic is the result of the game's boogeyman, the Black Wall. The Black Wall is corrupting her, and without the same cure that would rid V of the chip, she's also doomed. There is a cure, but only enough for one of them. And here's where things start to get pretty bleak. The ending I received left me sitting in my chair in utter denial, grief, and bitter anger for at least an hour. They are that good, to the point that I encourage you to go play it or even watch it. Phantom Liberty has made Cyberpunk a staple now, but of course, it cannot wipe away the train wreck of a release this game had. But how did it come from rock bottom to this? And where does that leave the series? Because it's not done. Next week, I'm going to take a look back at the dreaded year of 2020 and how Cyberpunk became an underdog story. This has been Zach Griner with Cyberpunked. I'm out of here, Chin.
Hello and welcome back to I'm Not a Loser, where I show you how to be as good at video games as I am. When it comes to games of any kind, I'm just a natural. But today we are playing what I believe is the most beautifully easy game I've ever played, Journey. When it comes to Journey, you can call me an explorer. In Journey, you could say that you're on a journey through some ancient civilization that is so beyond repair it's unrecognizable. Even though I completely understand this because I understand everything, it is important to watch these cutscenes as to not miss any information about this world. When looking at Journey, it's very easy to get distracted by beautiful visuals, but the story is something that should not be overlooked. Dude, I must be in a Denny's parking lot right now. Navigation is huge in Journey. In looking at the game, it's pretty subtle on where you need to go, which may make traversal seem daunting. But for me, I find it to be an easy part of the game. Where am I? Like, it's all just sand. Just like your dad, I never get lost anywhere I go. And I'll never ask for directions even if I've been in one area for an hour. Which I've never done, of course. It is important to know where you're going at all times to help ensure a smooth ride. In Journey, something that many people will ignore is one of the most important parts of the game. That being the world. Part of the beauty of Journey is the journey to the top, and to enjoy the game, you have to smell the roses along the way. Journey builds on its world and atmosphere by having you sit back and look at the experience in front of you. So don't rush through it. With these tips and tricks, hopefully your journey to your destination is a little bit smoother. This game, in my opinion, is an experience. It isn't about getting from the starting point to the end point, but instead a game that relies completely on its beautiful pit stops along the way to the end. Go on now, though, and start packing. You have a journey to get to.
Thank Thank you for joining us on this wild journey through Gentoo, folks.
Make sure to like and subscribe and do all the other stuff in the comments that we need you to do. Keep going. Just
Okay,
go.
we gotta go. Dave, did you lock the door?
We're literally on the inside of the house.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Can it be a metaphor for Blake Reisner?
I have gum.
Blake Reisner is Carol Baskin.
If I have gum, or I could just fake chewing gum, because Blake's always chewing gum.
Who is his wife? Who is Carol Baskin's? Who's Blake's wife? Did he kill Joe? It's right behind me, isn't it? That sounded like it. Why did you fall like that?
I fell down. I thought I had the good.
Fully dead weighted.
Bro was like, this.